My name is Laura Pratt. I served on active duty in the National Guard. I'm a veteran of Bosnia, Iraq, and Afghanistan. This is Zoe. She's my 3-year-old poodle Cavalier King Charles Spaniel mix. Zoe has had a rough part of her military service as well. I had her for the first year, and I of course was working all the time, and then the second year of her life while I was deployed to Afghanistan, she went up and stayed with my sister for 15 months. A year ago I went back and picked her up, so she's happy now. I had met some folks who, were on active duty in the National Guard, people who were doing that job Monday through Friday. I was just fascinated by it, and I really thought it would be a great opportunity to be of service. I felt like, what a great way to do something that really matters. And I was hooked. I loved it. I loved the people. I loved the work that we were doing. It felt really important. And I was just given so many great opportunities to be valuable. I adored it. I still do. I suddenly was like, I don't know if I have enough energy for this. Because you know exactly what it's going to require of you. You know exactly how long 15 months is. I feel like I'm empty, like I've run out, of energy. For every one soldier that's actually out engaged in combat or directly doing the warfighting mission, there are 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 of us who are supporting that soldier, and very often those soldiers feel like their service is maybe not adequate, and they feel like they have no reason to feel like they're struggling. My experience was day to day. I was starting to feel like I didn't want to commit to anything. I didn't want to obligate myself to anything. I didn't want to get immersed in anything because it was just fraying my nerves. I felt very anxious and uncomfortable just in general. Human interaction just over time started to be very overwhelming. And it's like living in a Technicolor universe, like being dumped in the middle of Times Square. Everything is so overwhelming. It's so scary. Having choices and decisions and the burden of those things is not what you've been used to. There was not a single thing in the universe, not a single thing in the universe that I aspired to do.
My name is Sue Lynch, and I am the founder of There and Back Again, a wellness, resiliency, and reintegration program for combat veterans. I'm also a registered yoga teacher and a Reiki 2 practitioner, and have served in the Army Reserves for 27 years in the JAG Corps. I had an experience when I was in the Gulf War after being deployed there for 6 months, and I came back with PTSD. Didn't know I had PTSD at the time. I struggled for about a decade until I found a yoga mat. And so one of the major issues to understand is the trauma is in our bodies. And going back to the body means, accessing it through yoga, any type of body-based practice. The path back is through the body. And so it's so important to connect with that and reach out, because it works. Fingertips are touching the mat. Connect the fingertips to the mat. So Laura and I met at Fort Dix, New Jersey, when we both were enrolled in a leadership course with the Army, and we happened to have been suite mates in one of the barracks. And Laura just happened to pop in and start to talk to me, and we started talking about what we did, and I started to tell her what I was doing. Inhale, we'll lengthen here.
I remember thinking for the first 10 yoga sessions that I was doing it wrong, that you feel so awkward and uncoordinated, and you also feel very not limber, and everyone around you is very limber. You realize how much strength it takes to do the poses. But more than anything, I felt like the breathing thing was never going to come. Like, there was no way I was going to be able to stop my brain from going 100 different directions and focus on my breath and really ground myself.
The foundation of the program is yoga, and I look at yoga as the empowerment piece. The empowerment on the yoga mat gives the veteran choices and how to practice, gives them the awareness of what's going on in their body. It gives them flexibility. It gives them the ability to understand that pain isn't weakness leaving the body, that no pain, no gain is what we learn in the military, that pain actually really is an indication that something is going on. We care for other veterans. There's no need to, suffer in silence. There's no need to be alone in it, and being connected and educated on what you can actually explore to shift things is so incredibly important, and that's where Laura is right now, and she's been amazing at Fort Belvoir with soldiers there.
I felt so blessed that day that Sue, she has this remarkable organization that fascinated me, and I thought, gosh, well, if I could help, I would love to help. Would you let me help? And she did, and who knew that through the journey of trying to provide support to something that I felt like was really meaningful, I would end up being so helped, end up being one of the helpees and the helpers. And that was pretty remarkable, and I had no idea when we had that first conversation that that's what would happen, so awfully special.
Just allow the body to integrate here. This tends to be one of the most challenging poses.
Be gentle with yourself. It's okay to practice slowly. It's okay not to try to achieve. It's just a safe place, a magic space for you to stretch and heal. And allowing that process does take a leap of faith. You begin to trust yourself, and that you won't fall apart if you let your guard down, and you won't fall apart if you expose yourself and allow the practice and the process to take place.